Indian Society of General Studies Paper 1 and Essay. As you know, my dear friends, it's not just about flow. Most people think it's just about flow. No, it's not just about flow, my dear friends, but it's also about using some technical words related to Indian society. Especially if you're writing an essay which is related to a society topic, okay, it's important that you use these terminologies, these technical words or jargons as they call it, my dear friends. These terminologies will always determine the kind of marks that you get while answering society questions in General Studies Paper 1 or when you're writing an essay based on sociological topic. Is that okay, my dear friends? Now, here is an effort to help you provide, here is an effort to help you come into terms with or put in one place all the important terminologies related to Indian society with a view of from the perspective of general studies, my dear friends. Okay, so this for optional people, you may need optional sociology people, you may need more terminologies than this. I've just tried to limit I've just tried to limit the list of terminologies here in their relevance to general studies Indian society topic of paper 1. Vinay Kumar here, international NLP and IAS coach. As I mentioned, my dear friends, in this video I'm going to give you an exhaustive list of terminologies which you have to know exact meaning of, so that you will know where to use it, how to use it, and when to use it, in what context. Is that okay, my dear friends? In fact, if you write an answer in a generic way, you'll get marks in generic way. So you'll get a normal score. But if you are able to use the right terminologies, if you're able to use these technical words in your answers, as you know very well, you're always going to get that edge of 2 to 3 marks more. Is that okay, my dear friends? Perfect. So, there are 2 things that I would like to mention just before I give you this list of terminologies. Quickly go, number 1, out of the 2 things, quickly go, my dear friends, grab a notepad and a pen and make list of these terminologies as and when you are learning it from the video, so that you don't have to keep pausing the video again and again. Okay, so that's the first thing that I would like to make a mention of. Quickly go grab a notepad and pen and write down these terminologies in a place where you can see it again, my dear friends, especially before you start reading for the Indian society topic of the General Studies Paper 1. Before you start your preparation for that, okay, I want you to once see these terminologies, take your head up like this, try to recall all that you know about these terminologies and then start to read it. This is a very effective way of learning, my dear friends. Getting to know what you know or what you don't know and then going to learn about those things makes the learning more effective. Is that okay, my dear friends? So have this list of terminologies always, even before you read, even before you start reading about them. First try to recall for yourself and then do the reading, my dear friends. Create the hunger before you actually have a meal. Is that okay? That's the first thing that I want to make a mention of. And second thing, bear in mind, my dear friends, once you have used it before you start preparing on society for your exam, there is one more time I want you to use these terminologies. That is, after reading the whole of society, you have used let's say 2 or 3 textbooks, including those NCERT textbooks of 12th standard, to read the society area, and you are, let's say, 1 month to the mains exam. You've got selected to the mains and you're 1 month to the mains exam, and you have gone out with your dad or your mom somewhere. They are busy in their work and you're just waiting for them. I want you to go back to this video at that time, okay? Listen to terminologies from each alphabet and try recalling all that you can, because these terminologies that I'm going to give a list of, my dear friends, have the potential to be questions themselves. They are not just terminologies that you're going to use as words in some other answer. They can be questions in themselves, by the way. Is that okay, my dear friends? Okay, thank you. Now, let us start with the list of terminologies. I'll start with A, my dear friends. I've tried to list down as much as I can. Okay, so this video, I'm going to be doing it from A to F, alphabet A to alphabet F, important terminologies. Again, I'm telling you, it's from the GS perspective. Optional sociology people, if you're watching this, please forgive me if I have left out some important terminologies. You have to, I have not had an optional of sociology, but I've been teaching society because of my flair for it and my in-depth study of society, especially for general studies. Okay. So, starting from alphabet A. In alphabet A, my dear friends, I hope you're writing it down. Try to scribble first. Okay, after you do the recall and all that, you can write it down neatly somewhere. A is ascription and achievement based identities. A, the first word that I want to remember in A, the first word I want you to remember in A is ascription and achievement based identities. You know what is ascriptive, right? From the birth, the identity that comes from the birth. Achievement, by your achievement, all right? So that's the first terminology. I'm not going to get into the meanings of these terms, or I'm not going to be explaining these words to you for now. Anyway, if you would need it, you can consult my Indian society videos. I mean, there is a course on Indian society that I've created, my dear friends. You can consult that and you can get to learn from there exhaustively, comprehensively. Here I'm just going to introduce the terminologies for you. Okay. So assimilationism, assimilationist. Okay, remember this, guys. This is a very important term. Some of you who have already studied society will be relating to these words really well. You'll wow, yes, these are the important terms. You'll be getting this feeling, I know, my dear friends. Agrarian social structure, number 3. Agrarian social structure. 4. Age stratification. Age stratification. 5. Advanced communism. Advanced communism. All right. These are some of the important. There are. I'll tell you. If you want, you can add another 100 words from me in sociology. There is this Max Weber's famous theory on authority. Okay, where he talks about the traditional authority, charismatic authority, legal rational authority and all that, and they're all very important in sociology. Nevertheless, I'm going to introduce to you those terms that you may use more often and as marks enrichers. Are you connecting to what I'm trying? Authority is something that you always know, but this assimilationism or ascription or stratification is something that's very unique to society, I feel, my dear friends. So such kind of terms I'm going to concentrate upon, emphasize upon in this video. Okay. Now come to B. From B, I just have one word for now. Okay, we'll add later, probably in a subsequent video, more words. For now, I've just mentioned bureaucracy. It's an important sociological term, by the way. Most of you would be relating to bureaucracy only in public administration. But remember, it's an important sociological term, bureaucracy. Okay. C. When it comes to C, and this is sociology, and this is society, the very first term that I would like to introduce to you is class. C-L-A-S-S. Class. So once the term like class is introduced, you should quickly, your brain should start thinking about class consciousness, class conflict, class struggle. Correct? Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? Everything around the class you should be able to bring in place, my dear friends. Okay. Obviously, after class, being in Indian society, what's the next word that comes to your head? Caste. Okay. So everything around the caste again. Caste differentiation, caste structure, caste system. Are you connecting to what I'm trying? All these words are different. Structure, system, all these things. Okay. Now, casteism or what casteist politics, okay. Now, other than that, in C, I know C is filled with words relevant for society, my dear friends. There is communism and capitalism. Communism and capitalism. Two very, very important terms in society. Communalism. Okay? Communalism. And then the next important term, sociological term, commodity, commodification, commoditization. Okay? I hope you know about it. Otherwise also you will be learning, but first try to at least think about it. Even if you are hearing it for the first time, commodification and all that, first try to think for yourself what it must be before you actually get to read about it in your NCERT textbooks. Most of these terms I've taken it from your two NCERT textbooks because I see that as a very, very useful guide for your civil service exam, my dear friends. A lot of questions I feel is directly set from there. I feel, my dear friends, okay? And commodification you wrote. Then commercialization. Commercialization. All right. And then consumption and consumerism. Consumption and consumerism. Important. Pakka sociological terms. Use these terms, my dear friends. Use these terms as you write answers. Know them perfectly well. So that you're adding a lot of value to your answers. Culture. In fact, when I'm talking about communalism, I should have spoken about this, my dear friends. Culture, community and all that. Okay, so wherever you have written communalism, please add that, my dear friends. Culture, and there is this cooperation, cooperative movement and all that. And that's it. Yeah, you may have some more terms like colonial legacy and culture shock. Okay, colonial legacy. Then what else? Colonial legacy, culture shock. They are also important terms, my dear friends. What else can be? Whatever you can recall, my dear friends. Some of the important terms, at least I have tried to, some of the most important terms I've tried to introduce to you here. There has been that effort. Okay. So, D. When it comes to D, my dear friends, the first word that I would like to make a mention of is dominant caste. As you know, the great sociologist coined it, M.N. Srinivas. Dominant caste. How this caste became very powerful sociologically as well as politically in the aftermath of Green Revolution and land reforms. Diversity, diversification, that is number 2. Okay, diversity, diversification. Number 3, decentralization. I know you would have read about it in political science, you would have read about it in public administration, you would have read about it in economics, but it is important here as well, my dear friends. Decentralization is very much important sociologically as well. Is that okay? Division of labor. Something that was at the basis of creation of our social structure in the ancient Indian society, my dear friends. Discrimination. Discrimination, important term in Indian society. Deprivation, closely related. Differentiation. Differentiation. One cannot discount the importance of this word. Dialectical materialism. Karl Marx came to your head. And then, because I see UPSC asking you questions on gerontocracy, that is this old age, senile age population problems and all that, I felt they can also ask you questions on marriage, kinship, divorce and all that. So I added divorce also, my dear friends. There can be a general question on how divorce has become a sociological problem, and or is it really a problem, and what should be the way forward, how we have to look at it and all that. Around that questions can come, so I mentioned that also. Even though you can recall the meaning of it very easily, what I would like you to do is, I'd like you to work around it, as in what are the factors that are responsible for increasing case of divorce, and is it good for Indian society, such acceptance of divorce, and what should be the better way or a third alternative to our perspective on divorce and all that, my dear friends. Okay, more progressive views or out of box thinking that you can have on divorce. That's where I want you to recall things. Dalit movements, that's another term that you have to know, my dear friends. Okay, assertion of cultural identity. Can we go to E? All right. When it comes to E, the first term that I would like to make a mention of is ethnicity. Ethnicity. When we use the word ethnicity, automatically you have to relate to words like ethnic cleansing, ethnic movements, correct? Then since we have been in the times of pandemic and you have come into terms with the kind of sociological crisis that a pandemic can throw, sociological challenges that pandemic can throw, I listed this word epidemic. Always know the definition of epidemic, my dear friends. Okay, that can be a straight question in the exam. What is an epidemic? Then enumeration. Sociological studies requires statistics. It's based on surveys and statistics, right? So, enumeration. Endogamy and exogamy. So much of news is there on all these carp panchayats, etc. So, endogamy and exogamy. Exclusion. So, see, exclusion. Again, the discrimination, deprivation, relation to there, my dear friend. Sociological exclusion. Because of some identity based exclusion may happen, or other forms of exclusion may happen, my dear friends, okay, in a society. But again, this is what is at the basis of our understanding and study of Indian society, why these patterns of exclusion emerge in first place, how they sustain over a period of time, what we do to address them over a long run. Externalities, very, very important term. Externalities. See, a sociological action can have positive and negative externalities. Yes or no? So, externalities. Not to discount one of the most important term in sociology, evolution. Evolution. Especially with reference to social change. Yeah. See, change can be drastic as well as evolutionary. Change can be evolutionary or revolutionary. Okay, so we're talking about E for evolution here. When it comes to F, my dear friends, I start with family. Very important unit of sociology. Very important unit of society. Okay. So when it comes to family, automatically you should think about terms like family planning, family disorganization, all these things, my dear friends. Okay, but it's going to be any day important question. If you see every year almost, there is one question coming like this on old age or on family or on marriage or child labor or something like that. So know these. See, again, I'm not just asking you to recall the definition of family here. Yeah, you've been there with it from the time of your birth. But I want you to understand all the problems or the changing, the changing structure of family in the society and the host of problems that it throws up or the benefits that it may have for the changing society. Next term, fertility. And then forced labor. It has been there in the Indian society for because of the social structure that existed, stratification that existed, all these problems were there. Feminism, very, very important term. A lot of discourse on it. So any day a question is to be expected on that. In fact, in the syllabus only they say very clearly, women and women organizations and all that. So any day an important question for you. Formal organizations. And finally, cousin of communalism, fundamentalism. I think this is a list of terms I feel are really, really important from the perspective of General Studies Society, paper 1, my dear friends. Okay. All these terms you can very well use in your essay that you have chosen to write on a topic related to society. Is that okay? Social related topic. Some of you may say, sir, E for education. That's okay. Yeah, I felt okay. Such kind of terms you will easily relate to. Nevertheless, I have a request for you, my dear friends. Let's try to share the knowledge as much as possible and make this list as exhaustive as possible in the comment section below. Okay, whenever you are coming across any important term that you feel has to be known or has to be you need to have greater level of conceptual clarity on those terms, or they can be important pointers, or they can be important jargons when used can enrich your marks. Please do mention them in the comment section so that anyone who is watching this video or watching the comment section would get an exhaustive list of terms, my dear friends, for your revision and recall. So let this knowledge be useful for you at the level of comprehension, at the level of revision, and also at the level of recall. Is that fine, my dear friends? Thank you very much for learning from this video. See you all in my subsequent videos when I'm going to complete this list, continue with this list and going to complete it, my dear friends. But the real completion is going to happen only when you also contribute all those terms that you feel is important that might have been left out by me here, my dear friends. Thank you very much. See you all in my next video.